Alright, y'all. Well, we're here in part 6. My mission I set out to do was to show that this was a great big hoax. But a hoax, why, is the reason we're going to get into right now. The metaphysical understanding of everything, the occult meaning, esoteric, of how it's been basically prophesized at this moment. So we've been going in all along the Age of Aquarius. We got down, like I said, finished the hard copy earlier. Now we're getting into basically the metaphysical, the occult, the read between the lines thing side of it, you know, the research, the energy research. Be able to see what the Mythos says. And this is basically what the occult following looks at to see how the unseen world affects the seen world. So, without further ado, let's begin. Alright, so I'm going to begin with the Necronomicon, which a lot of people don't talk about. Okay? Now, I find this alluring because of the story that it has and how it resembles other stories or mythos or religions even. So boom, Necronomicon. The reason why I find this alluring is basically necro changed the C to a G. It's Negro. It's the Negronomicon. This is how the elite view us. They put the story, our main story, as the most devilish thing in the whole wide world. They say this book is evil, made of human skin, basically. The Necronomicon. And we'll get into who made it later, or who H.P. Lovecraft wrote it, but he attributed it to Abdul Azarid, the Mad Arab. We'll talk about who that is in a little bit. We're going to talk about all the things I said we're going to talk about later on. We're going to talk about now. Okay? The Necronomicon, Negronomicon is what it really is. And if you want to look up what Nomi, Negro, of course, means black. And Nomi in Hebrew, which is what I'm going to use, means beautiful, pleasant, delightful. Black, beautiful, and con means, I think I have it here. Con means study attentively or learn by heart. Now I know people are going to say that, oh, it means to con somebody, but this is Middle English, and this is a piece of writing, you know, what is it? Meaning alluring to a piece of writing, basically. So that's why I use this phrase in the definition of the Necronomicon, which is the Negronomicon. So it's actually black, beautiful piece of writing is what the Negronomicon is. And the man who wrote it, H.P. Lovecraft, knew of occult science, basically. Or at least understood Hermetic philosophy. Because people attribute that the Necronomicon was written by, what the Necronomicon truly is remains in the Akashic records. It's basically saying that the Akashic records that you spoke about, you know, Akash is melanin, basically. Melanin records are basically what the computer is based off of. Because everybody has consciousness, everybody has a mind. You know, we all share the same mind, which we'll get into a little bit, which is one of the Hermetic principles. The all is in one. You know, everybody has a mind, everybody has consciousness. So to begin, that's why I look at the Necronomicon as a sign about the age of Aquarius, because it talks about how the stars have to align right. When it talks about stars, it means planets as well. So what I need, first of all, understand the star spawn. Remember this phrase, star spawn of Cthulhu. They're the star spawn. Okay? They fought Azazoth, Yog-Sothoth. Goes as far back as 300 million years. Now I want to show Nug and Yeb are the spawn of Shub-Niggurath. Now I just want to say that H.P. Lovecraft was a known racist. One of his characters right here, I mean, you can see nigger in the word, in the name, Shub-Niggurath. But down right here, the names Nug and Yeb are similar to the names of Egyptian sibling gods Nut and Geb, which we'll get to Nut and Geb in a little bit. I just want to go through the Cthulhu mythos first, and then we're going to show the relation to the other mythos, which is all just science. It's really all just science of the bodies, which you have to understand. Egyptian gods siblings Nut and Geb, because Shub-Niggurath, which we'll get into in a little bit, is Ra, such as in the likeness of Amen-Ra. Amen-Ra. You have Nyarlathotep. Which we just said H.P. Lovecraft was a known racist, which I think they really just attribute. Of course, a lot of writers back then were known racists, but I think they just meant to attribute it to him because his mythos was the most true. It meant to show that the beast is in the soul, the beast inside, the beast below. But he even named one of his main characters. He wrote about the black man, which was one of the highest characters in his books, basically the outer god and one of the great old ones. Basically a connection, a link between them. And even right here, I think I have it, he's a pharaoh, which we'll get into a little bit, who is Nyarlathotep. If you know anything about Egyptian, not even Egyptian mythology, it's Egyptian history, you know about Imhotep, the father of medicine, who was a great priest. Azathoth. This is who this is, Azathoth. Go to his page. Azathoth is the nuclear chaos. And since we were talking about Akash, where H.P. Lovecraft, it said H.P. Lovecraft got his basically channeled this information from the Akashic records. Like we said, Akash is melanin. Melanin is chaos, is what you have to understand. Always changing, always evolving. And like I said, it's the beast inside. It's also the beast inside. It has to be woken up. It's Kundalini energy. It's everything. It has to be transformed, mutated, or not mutated, but transmutated, raised to the higher level. Chaos basically has to be let go. Can't be controlled. It has to be let to be evolved. Right here, music. You see, if you talk about melanin, music soothes the savage beast. Right here, you got this picture of this crawling chaos, this beast. Name him the blind idiot god. The nuclear chaos. You have the music being played, or this thing playing the flute down here, which we know music soothes the savage beast. And if you know a lot of melanated people. I mean, whether you Spanish or you, even if you white, black, I mean, of course, if you black, you Spanish, you know, music, and even if you white, music soothes you. It soothes you, soothes the chaos. And it's just funny that this creature down here would be playing a flute around Azathoth. Just want to point out too that Azathoth is named the Lord of all. In this mythos, he is the first thing. Chaos. Everything is evolved out of chaos. Now, when you see these pictures, you have to know that they weren't created by H.P. Lovecraft. These are pictures created by people afterwards. They just put their own imagination on it, their own spin on it. But like I said, it's a mythos so related to the black man that it has to be put off as evil. So to continue, you have Cathatnid, which is the brother of Cthulhu. Remember, Cthulhu's race, he helped to banish his brother and the other great old one. So remember that. That Cathatnid, we'll get to that in a little bit, helped to banish his brother and the other great old ones, which is relevant to Set banishing Osiris. Not banishing Osiris, but locking up Osiris in the Egyptian mythology. Cut Osiris up, however you want to say. You know, but he locked Osiris up first in the coffin and sent him down the river. So here saying, he looks exactly like his sibling, bears a great hatred for the old ones. That he is as good as his brother is old, or as he's as good as his brother is evil. I just find it funny that Cathatnid has red eyes in this picture. Yeah, that he placed the elder sign on the great old ones. And he's not capable. It's funny that it says that he's not capable of actual violence and only uses binding spells or memory erasure to deal with his enemies. You know, which is something that, you know, the black man has to deal with, that a lot of us, not even the black man, fucking, whether you're Spanish as well, you know, dark-skinned Spanish, you got to deal with memory erase. You don't know where you come from. You still going off of names that the white man named you. Some people that you don't even know, you don't even have your own names, you know, the old names that people named you. Not that people named you, that you named yourself. But yeah. But it's funny that this is gone though, because it has said that it did say before that this could be what was it? That it could be trickery because he was the one in charge writing the writing the story, so it could be trickery on his part, you know. But damn, what is it? Yeah. Like I said, the great old ones placed a sign on him. He's the one that placed the elder sign on the great old ones, basically trying to control them, the memory eraser. But damn, yeah, I can't find where it said that. Could have swore I took a shot of it. Maybe we'll come to it later. But yeah, like I said, Cthulhu, right here, the star spawn, the sleeper of Riley, the great dreamer, which we'll get into later. I mean, the star spawn. What was it? Every nigga is a star. Nobody know that song? I mean, go listen to Kendrick's To Pimp a Butterfly. Go listen to fucking George Clan. You know, they know about that shit. It's not. We're all made of stardust, is what it basically is saying. You know, they're made of stardust. The sleeper of R'lyeh, and R'lyeh is a sunken city, similar to what Atlantis. If you don't want to believe it, whatever, doesn't matter. Atlantis was real. Maybe in not the context that you would understand, but still real. In the spiritual way, not in the physical. And if it was a higher level that can transfer between the spiritual and the physical. And the great dreamer, which is just alluding to another mythos religion, is Vishnu, who dreams. You know, this is what Cthulhu is supposed to look like. She'll get into a little later. Kulu from the Zulu religion. You know, let's get into it a bit. How he looks. They could not live. They all lay in stone houses. When you want to sit there, when they sit there and refer to stone houses, I mean, you can even, what stone houses? Houses are also referred to in astrology. You got houses of, the house of Aquarius, the house of Scorpio, the house of Libra, which, you know, they lay stone houses. Yeah. So reference, just combining mythology and shit, you know, combining religions. Right here, when the stars have come right for the great old ones. That's a reference to the stars of the planets becoming right. Secret priest. See. That earth will be flamed with the holocaust of ecstasy and freedom. And if you watch the last video, you know, the Aquarius sign is supposed to be, everybody's supposed to be in, you know, in freedom. You know, then mankind would have become as the great old ones, free and wild, beyond good and evil, with laws and morals thrown aside, and all men shouting and killing and reveling in joy. You know, killing, it's not saying killing each other. That's what you have to understand. Doesn't mean that men are going to go wild. Just reveling in joy. And killing who? If you are killing who? Killing the evil ones? Killing the ones that have been controlling you this whole time? Reveling in joy because you have your freedom. Make this shit seem evil because, oh, we're gonna, all men shouting and killing and reveling in joy because they're killing. No, I'll be reveling in joy because finally I have my freedom liberated. I can do what I want, not to harm nobody, but to have my own land, to be able to grow my own food, to, you know, have knowledge of self, you know, not to be controlled by no religion, or to be taken to the higher level, not to be held back anymore. Which, I mean, if you've seen any of the past videos, is truly what they are trying to do. Like, we know we can only use 10% of our brain, 10% of our brain, and that's because that's how much they want us to use. If that, a lot of motherfuckers acting on like 3%, 2% basically, and they're not even retarded. You know, it's ridiculous. That motherfuckers can't put simple shit together. Octopus, a dragon, and a human that Cthulhu is based upon. So something, you know, to do with the sea, which we'll get into later. You have to understand this thing has to do with water. All this shit has to do with water. Is why they're trying to stop the sun. Is why every mythos has to do with water. Shit sinking, beast under the sea. You know, they don't want nobody by the water. Antarctica even melting. Riley had sunk beneath the waves. You know, basically talking about Atlantis. Like we had pointed out in the last video, Antarctica is melting. Human explorers in Antarctica discovered an ancient city. You know, this is just fucking mythos. But this is what you have to understand as just as well. Why we talk about Antarctica is Antarctica was traversed in the past in like 1940s and 1950s, which by this man. Robert Falcon Scott, Roland Amundsen, traversed Antarctica. Now, they said they found land in Antarctica. They said there's land in Antarctica. Okay? After they went to Antarctica, everybody, you know, this is just simple shit. This is just simple shit that I use. Everybody fucking signed a treaty that nobody could go to Antarctica. There's no travel to Antarctica. Alright. Statue, the governor, and no bearing, blah, blah, blah. Motherfuckers going to Antarctica. Not gonna get into all of it. You can get into it. But yeah. And then they had a set aside and wrote it as a scientific, right, just the last shit. As the first permanent structure directly over the South Pole, finally to prevent the possibility of military conflict, supposedly, in the region, the United States, with the United Kingdom, Soviet Union, 9 other countries with significant interest negotiated this inside the Antarctica Treaty in 1959. And the treaty entered into force in 1961 and sets aside Antarctica as a scientific preserve, established freedom of scientific investigation, and banned military activity on that continent. The treaty was the first arms control agreement established during the Cold War. Basically stopped anything happening on that continent. If it's just a block of ice, why are they saying here making it a scientific preserve that nobody can go to? No military things will be done. Everybody's just researching over there. You know, this whole treaty is signed by all these United States, United Kingdom, Soviet Union, all and 9 other countries came together to say, no, nothing's going to happen on Antarctica. Norway, Japan, South Africa, Chile, Argentina, France, Belgium, New Zealand. And they're all part of the United Nations, of course, so. I mean, you have United States, United Kingdom, Japan, and Soviet Union, so not really going to be fighting with them on anything. So, blocking anything over there. It's funny that they just sit here and they talk about, you know, Antarctica. A little while later, talking about they find these old things, elder things. You know, we'll get into that later. You know, not to say don't get scared. Is what the fuck I'm talking about. Not that there's any fucking thing living under that goddamn fucking ice. Is what you have to understand. There's not no fucking great thing living under that ice. Hold on, my bad, y'all. Damn it. So going along on this note, I were pointing out that this is just another mythos. This isn't real. Comparative mythos, just like all can be compared. Just want to show you how it goes down the line. You have Nug and Yeb. Okay, you have Nug and Yeb. Understand Nug and Yeb. And you have Newt and Geb. You have Newt goddess up here if you see Geb. Just in the most simplistic way. You have it's basically you change the Y with the G and you just flatten out the Y. You know, it's wordplay. It's wordplay at its finest. You know, going from there, you know, switching it like that, the mythos. And then if you go from there, you have, before I show who Nug and Yeb gives birth to, Nug and Yeb's parents are Shub-Niggurath and Yog-Sothoth. Okay. Shub-Niggurath is right here. Evil cloud-like god, blah blah blah. Black goat with 1,000 young. If you go to a Shub-Niggurath and a Yog-Sothoth, is her husband, who's the all-in-one, the one and all. We can go here to, I remember them, Shub-Niggurath and Yog-Sothoth. Another yeah, but the Tefnut and her offspring. Yeah. So basically, he just changed them around, changed the mythos around. Shub-Niggurath, you can see at the beginning, is Shu right there at the beginning, but he made Shub-Niggurath a female. Yeah, this is Newt and Geb's father, just like how what is it? Nug and Yeb are Shub-Niggurath's spawn, basically. Shub-Niggurath, a Yog-Sothoth. Now, they are born of the nameless mist. Yog-Sothoth is born of the nameless mist. Just as well as Shub-Niggurath is. Is born of, let me get on this fucking, let's see if, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Right here. The darkness. So basically the same thing spawned both of them. The darkness and the nameless mist. If you go to the nameless mist, it's a magnum innominatum. Okay? What you have to understand is we go to Shu. And we go to his parents, who is Ra. With the magnum y'all see the goddamn word. With that, it is a combination of the nameless mist and the darkness. Okay, right here. It says it right at the bottom. Nameless mist and the magnum and nominum, which is the darkness, basically. unified as the same entity later by other writers, but Lovecraft mentioned doing it in earlier times. Here we go to the darkness, which is a sibling, is two, brothers, a brother and sister. Yeah, it's the same thing. We're unified as the same entity, blah, blah, blah. If we go to here, to fucking Ra, those things are the father of Shub-Niggurath and Yog-Sothoth, Ra, and the Mythos, as everybody knows, combined. If you know any Egyptian mythology, Ra combined with Amen-Ra. These two beings combined together. Same goddamn mythos. Amen and Ra. And Amen means hidden. So if you go to the darkness or the nameless mist, either one of them can mean fucking hidden. You could say he just fucking using other words. You could say, he used Amen as hidden for the nameless mist because it's hidden, and then Ra, he just used the opposite of the sun and said darkness. Stupid. I mean, not stupid shit, but just the metaphysical is fucking the hidden meanings and everything. So then we go to Ra, and his fucking parents is Neith, and we go to Neith. Neith is a terrifying one. Who is their parents? Who is their parent? Azathoth, the blind idiot god, this terrifying one, basically. Neith is the god of all, at least in this pantheon, this mythology of the Egyptian deities, because there is multiple times. I mean, there's multiple ones. You got the prehistoric, or pre-dynastic, then you got the dynastic, and then you have, the perverted, what we have today with, Greek trying to take over. But she's the terrifying one. First and prime creator is the same thing as Azathoth. Blood, basically. And if you want to go all the way back, we'll go back to where we start. We have Nug and Yeb. And we have Newt. We get to Newt. And Newt and Geb. Newt and Geb. And we explained our Nug and Yeb. Basically take the goddamn Y, put it over here, and did it at the end of where the G is supposed to be, flatten it, it's Newt. Take the G, put it over here with where the Y was, the Jeb. Simple stuff like that. People just don't get, but everything's connected. So boom, who is their offspring? Newt and Geb's offspring is Osiris. Who is Nug and Yeb's offspring? Nug and Yeb's offspring is Cthulhu. Osiris and Cthulhu are the same fucking beings, because Osiris gets locked in a coffin, he gets cut up by his brother Set. We know Cthulhu, like we explained earlier, has a brother named Cathatnid, and he locks his brother up. Both of them have to do with water. Osiris' penis is found in a lake. This is well before that, when Set tried before his body was sailed down a river. So those are, it's basically the same goddamn mythology. I mean, to further hammer it home, you have Osiris. He's a green being, Lord of the Dead and Rebirth. He's becoming, Lord of the Underworld. And go right here to Cthulhu, green being. Basically Lord of the Seas, which is Lord of the Underworld. If you need me to go any further, we'll go to Cathagaya, which is, knowledge of her is slim, but it's a half-sister of Great Cthulhu and his mate, which they birthed the star spawn. We'll go to fucking Osiris. know about Isis, who was his sister, but he also had sex with Nephthys as well. That's why Set got mad, because that was supposed to be his consort, basically. But yeah, Isis, same thing as Kathakaya. And together they had Horus, where they just say they had a star spawn. You know, the Cthulhu, or whatever you want to call it. Basically the male and female energy coming together. But which we'll get to later. There's really no female energy for Cthulhu. That's why he sits at the bottom of the sea still. You know, so basically I just gave you the whole goddamn family tree of some scary ass mythos, some shit that's been touted to you as scary, and just connected to Egyptian mythos. Which, if you know about Egyptian mythos, you can just carry that back into fucking Christian mythos, Greek mythos. Only thing about with this H.P. Lovecraft shit is he also used Hermetic principles as well. Occult philosophies. You have not Shub-Niggurath, but Yog-Sothoth. Right here. And this is Kenneth Grant. Kenneth Grant suggested that Lovecraft's depiction of Yog-Sothoth was based off the Qalipoth. If you know about the Qalipoth or the Sephiroth, it's the tree of life. Oh, yeah, maybe I got some science over here. I can do it at the top. Yeah. Basically just the tree of life. Yeah. All the planets, Neptune, Jupiter, Venus, the moon, Earth, Sun, you know, you got it, blah. Basically what he based it off of. Thoth in the middle. Malkuth is the earth. What you stand on. You know, tree of good and evil. Basically what Yog-Sothoth, you know, just spiraling mess, this black goat of the woods with 1,000 young, you know, all these spears, basically. Nyarlathotep, I got explained, based off of the Black Pharaoh, based off of this good looking black man right here, Imhotep, like we said, high priest of the sun god Ra, Heliopolis, father of medicine. If you see the two serpents rising, what is that? The Caduceus. Imhotep came up with that. It's just a family tree that we're not gonna get into. Shit's ridiculous. All the names. Yeah. It's just more on the Magnum and not Magnum. H.P. Lovecraft and the occult. I found this here also in the history of the Necronomicon that Lovecraft wrote. He mentions John Dee, the guy who chronicled the Book of Enoch. John Dee wrote the Book of Enochian Magic. Yeah, about Enochian magic, which is just, if he referred to this man with the Enochian magic, John Dee, talking about the Necronomicon. Enochian magic is just fucking Moorish science. It's just Moorish science. That's all it is. Which is just the ancient pre-science that were in Egypt. Which is just the science from Atlantis sunken. You know, Cthulhu lies in Riley, which is fucking Atlantis. You know, this fucking, you know, old science has been passed down, you know, concerning astrology, you know, science of the body, basically how to you know, perfect the body, because when we fell into the physical, we had to learn how to master the body. So boom, if you even doubt that shit, John D's talking about Nookie and Magic, you go here to the fucking mad Arab, who's Abdul Al-Hazred. So right there, you know it's written by a fucking Arab, supposed Arab. That's what they call them. That's what they call the Moors, are the Arabs. You can see right, let's go to the damn website. Born circa 700 and died 738. Origin is Yemen, and he was supposed to have wrote it in let's say blah, this, you know, simple shit, Damascus. So I forget. Damascus was Syria. And on that note, we're gonna finish off the video. The next video we'll continue, go more in depth, and we'll see the Moors in Syria and their connection to writing the Necro or the Negronomicon. I just have a few videos just to hammer home, you know, what I was talking about, Brother Bobby Hemmitt talking about, you know, basically, you know, explaining it just as well. So I'll put those videos up right now. And I thank you for the view. Thank you for the time again. I'm not trying to have the videos be that long, but I thank you for the attention, the patience, your time, and getting this knowledge together. That's what it's all for. Thank you very much. Brother Bobby Hemmitt about to speak, but for me, it's Ashe. Till the next time.
Cycle, which is a comic book, really. Azathoth in the Necronomicon, Azathoth is the origin of all things, the creator. So we're talking about that God above, not Azazel, that's different. Azathoth, which you get the word Tahuti, which is a form of melanin. He's a God of chaos that is above, a God above all things. It will say, let me see, that the origin of all origin. Now, this particular blind idiot God who created the universe as a cosmic joke, which is the Big Bang Theory. Fortunately, we are not left to pure speculation. The name, let me see if I can get the right thing. He goes into Azathoth sitting at the center of the universe, and it's not so much far as no different than the Big Bang Theory, but on a spiritual thing other than what the damn, what the scientists are actually saying. So he gives us stuff about Azathoth. Anytime you hear the word Azathoth, that's pure melanin. Azathoth, that's in the Necronomicon mysteries. That's pure melanin. You see what I'm saying? That's Azathoth. You see, pure melanin. Which the best Necronomicon stuff is there's a book called H.P. Lovecraft Greatest Hits. H.P. Lovecraft, the best of H.P. Lovecraft. The best of H.P. Lovecraft is what it is. And in there they'll give you, it got the Call of Cthulhu, which was written in 1931, same time Elijah Muhammad and that whole thing went down. And in there they'll give you the Cthulhu myths and talking about all of this Necronomicon stuff also too. So now let's go into a question and answer at this particular time. This time delay is also going. In Zachariah's Stitching, you read his books, he talks about the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki and Anpu is one and the same. Anpu is Anubis. So the Anunnaki is nothing but black people, because Anubis is a black and gold dog, which symbolizes melanin. Atlantis is now 1,000 miles below the earth. The sinking of Atlantis, in actuality, is your subconscious sinking, and it's inward now. Everything that you think of physical, you got to think of as a part of your body. So the sinking of Atlantis is that God element when you first came down here you was in touch with, that sank into the deepest subconscious. You see what I'm saying? The deepest subconscious. Atlantis is the deep subconscious list. is the deep subconsciousness. Now, what we got to understand here is this. The grays that we talk about, the white people are talking about the grays. The grays are these evil demiurge, are these evil raccoon in Yoruba. That's also side was a Greek god that sank beneath the ocean. That's Olakun in Yoruba. That's also Osiris, and also they go to the underworld, as well as that's Cthulhu. Cthulhu is a form of Olakun also too, the sunken city of Rayleigh. Very key. So he was able to get the Grail mystery because he still had a child mind. And that's what we got to get. That means you don't have the ego. That's why right now, your children give you the greatest questions you ever want to name, which is answers. Why the fuck that wood standing up that way? You get mad, want to cuss them out. Shut the hell up. Because they're on another dimension than you. You see what I'm saying? See, all your shit get fucked up in puberty. That's when you develop more with the outside self. Start messing with your hair. Start doing this. Child don't want to do nothing but play at first. And they got energy like crazy. Like right now, if you don't want a child to tire you out, you got to stop them all right then. He throw the ball, you throw the ball, he throw the ball, and then you go, okay, that's enough. Because you could be out there 2 days from now throwing that damn ball, because that mug don't stop. And the mama said, I told you not to start with him. So that's what I'm saying. You need to. But I'm telling you, they're in a whole other dimension. And all right. So what the deal is he was able to go and get the Holy Grail because he could understand things that the ego in the other knights, their egos, they took the human, the adult self with them, which was the ego, so they couldn't understand things. You see what I'm saying? So in this particular book, they talk about, this book is a book talking about the humility of what we used to be. You see what I'm saying? You ever notice if you go over to Africa, if you go to other places, the people look kind of dumb, you know, running around and shit. And we mistake that shit for dumb because we got the white man mind in us. That's humility. You see what I'm saying? So they just look kind of stupid. They don't look stupid. They're not stupid. They're spiritual. It's just that we got the British mentality in us now. So now when we look at them as the same way the conqueror looked at them. He said that Africa was the most backwards race on the planet. No, Africa is the most spiritual race that you've mistaken for intellectualism. See, intellectualism is what's fucked up. That's why most of the time